There was something, I can tell you a story that really changed me. So Danielle was dating this guy. Anyway, they were going on a date. We had a dog, so I was taking the dog out. So the guy was sitting out in the car. I never saw him, but he was sitting out in the car. He was waiting for Danielle. He saw you. He saw me walking the dog. He says, "That's your sister." He asked me, "Is that your sister?" "Is that your sister?" I said, "Yes, my sister." And then Danielle said, "Well, did you say hi or something like that?" He said, "I was," but she looked insecure.
Excuse me, bitch.
Now for days, I was upset about this first of all, this man that never met me. I was mad at his sort of perception of me. Right. The fact is that I knew I was insecure, but I didn't think anybody could see it. Right.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! 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 Oh fuck! 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 I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do.
She doesn't either.
Shit.
She was trying to be cute.
Help! 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 I don't know what to do, you guys. Guys, I don't know what to do. Help! Help!
What?
I don't have a fire extinguisher.
You guys were watching this video of this modern woman trying to cook. You know, the funny part is that she was trying to look cute. She had a little pink dress on, trying to look like Susie Homemaker. Oh my God, I can't. Women can't cook anymore. Right. This is the truth. Women can't cook anymore. This is this says to me, because she looked like she didn't know what she was doing anyway. I mean, more importantly, she can't let out a fire. Yeah. Put out a fire. She had a grease fire. She tried to put water over a grease fire, which, you know.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no.
Don't do that. Right. But, you know, I'm not laughing. I mean, I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad the girl's okay. But, man, this shows you right here. This is proof. This is proof that women are having a hard time knowing how to cook now. I mean, wow. I'm sure she was, you know, what she was doing, it was just I don't know, I think sometimes, man, it's so funny. To prove that she could do something. I know. You know what I mean? I think a lot of these young women just don't know how to do normal things anymore. Right. They know how to do Postmates. And that's it. And they know how to put a tight dress on, and they know how to do that, but they really don't know how to do anything at all. Like, they don't really know how to clean that well. They don't. And then if you go to, like, these people's apartments, their apartments look awful. Awful. You know what I mean? Like, they don't clean. They don't know how to do anything. It's bad. It's bad. They all look bad. Yeah. She was trying to be cute in front of her audience. Yeah. And she just... fell. Right. But don't put water on a grease fire. Right. It just ignites it. You're supposed to smother it. So you got to put, you know, like baking soda or something like that on it. You don't put water on a grease fire. She didn't do anything. It kind of started to flame. But, you know, I can't. She doesn't have a extinguisher, she said. Right. So she probably doesn't have any baking soda because she doesn't bake. Yeah. And she doesn't clean with it. Baking soda is one of those products that you can, it's like apple cider vinegar. Right. You can use it for a lot of different things. Y'all, I'm happy she's okay, but that to me was hysterical. We got the video on Instagram from Healthy Cooking TV. And I'm going to, I think I can get this clip up. Hopefully I can. Anyways, I'll put the clip up here.
A lot of people don't know, right? Most women see men as disposable.
Because you are. And I'm not saying that just to be hard. It's just the truth. I can honestly say that no man that I was romantically involved with brought any positive changes to my life. In fact, I'm happy, healthier, and more productive single than I ever was in a relationship. A lot of you are completely oblivious as to how much of a burden you are to your women counterparts. Over the years, women have made so much progress where men have regressed to the point where they're unnecessary. And it has nothing to do with finances or, you know, status, and more to do with the fact that there are only a select few of you that are actually worth the trouble. It would take men as a whole unlearning toxic traits and behaviors in order for that to change.
Okay, so, I mean, I will say this about her video. Y'all. Now, her video, because she was talking from a feminist standpoint,
that
Very
men
feminist.
are sort of obsolete, not needed. Only a select few of you are worth it. Now, I will have to say this. That video seems to be okay with women.
Yes.
But when Kevin Samuel says it to women, says that same
Same
thing,
thing.
but not talking about men, but talking about women. She can talk about men that way, but men can't talk about women that way.
Right.
And the point is that for her to say it's not about finances, it is about finances. Yeah. Because when we started to go to work, it's not the money that really changed everything. Yeah. It was what the money did to us. Mm-hmm. It made us aggressive. It made us not submit, you know.
It made us this.
It made us that. This sort of, you know, I don't care about the way I come off to you. Mm-hmm. Accept me as I am. Mm-hmm. I'm a queen. And it's just like the girl we were watching with the Cam Newton video where she bangs her chest like a man and talks about, nope, I got my own life, babe. Mm-hmm. You guys don't even, I mean, to me, you sound like a barrel of fun. Who wants to hang out with you but other women?
Right.
And to say that men don't matter, look, at the end of the day, yeah, men matter. Mm-hmm. I don't want to go to bed with my money. Mm-hmm. I don't want to, go on a date. I don't want to go out by myself for the rest of my life. I don't want to, not have someone to talk to for the rest of my life. And by that, I mean that, of course, you have your friends, but men give a different perspective. That's why it's good to have a boyfriend or a husband. You know what I mean? This attitude that women, particularly, she looks like a young girl. I'm not sure exactly how old she is, but these attitudes,
at least a millennial.
Yeah, this attitude that women have that men are not needed, and then you wonder why men, why what she calls it, only a few of you are worth it. But you're making it saying you're saying that they're not worth it.
Right.
So if they're not worth it in your mind, then of course you're not getting anybody worth it.
Mm-hmm. That this lady, here's what's so interesting to me with people who talk like this. First of all, I want to say I have no idea who this woman is, but I can already tell you by her demeanor alone and mannerisms that she doesn't mean anything that she's saying.
No, at all.
This is a woman, in my opinion, not facts, just opinion right now, I can just tell. Mm-hmm. Living my almost 45 years of life. She is not taking responsibility and accountability for her actions in her life. So she's had bad experiences with men, right, that she chose. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's key, that she chose. And she's going to now make a whole video about how men should be basically obsolete and they're not really worth it. When really, if we just take 5 minutes out of her time and talk to her, which you'll find out very soon, most likely, is that she chose the wrong people. And because of that, she's taking no responsibility for that part of it. This is where we mess up as women. This is where we mess up because what we're saying is that the men are all of the problem. Men are they did it. They're all of it. They're all of it. Right? This has nothing to do with men for her. This has something to do with how she perceives herself and what she accepts and feels worthy or not. And I don't believe she feels worthy. I can tell in her mannerisms, the way she's talking, she doesn't mean anything that she's saying. She just wants to push all the blame on men, and that's why, they're not really worth it. And she's done better. She's been more productive by herself. Well, let me tell you this. Everyone's more productive when you're by yourself. You know why? Because you have all the time in the world when you're by yourself. But she's saying that because she's it's a slap in the face to men. This is the type of
quality of life,
behavior is horrible.
Productive is one thing, but your quality of life is better when you can share it with someone.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not that, and I mean, even men say, I was watching Matt Walsh and he was saying that men who are single, or men who are married live longer than men who are single.
Which is facts.
Men who are married have more, are better at business than men who are single, because men that are in business usually are married and they want to be around other married men because they think if you can run your house, you can also run a business. They look at that as the same.
The data on that
has been like that since the 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's how a lot of business.
The data on that is that's very true. The data on
so then the same would have to be on some level true for women. You are better when you can share your life with someone, because someone's supposed to upgrade your life. Both of you. You're supposed to be a benefit to each other.
Supposed to be.
But this whole I don't need a man attitude is the reason why she's saying that there aren't a lot of good men. If you don't need a man and everyone's saying that, then why would they even try?
What would be the point?
What are you looking for? What do you want? See, that's the thing. Is like I think that's my problem with women. It's what do you want? do you not like men? Because
there's
there's a lot of men that aren't gay that don't like women.
Yeah, it's true.
There are a lot. So on the same, it's true for women.
You're
there are
right.
a lot of women that are not lesbians, but they just don't like men, and for some reason they don't, and it has nothing to really do with men. It may have something to do with the men you were raised with.
That's right.
It might have something to do with the men you choose.
Yeah.
It might be, and that all comes from your attitude. That does not come from, like you just have dealt this bad hand and you are attracting, like God just gave you all the bad guys. There are marriages out here that have lasted for years. I was just watching a video that Steve Harvey put up. I don't know when he put it up, but there was a couple, a black couple. The man was 103 and the woman was, woman was 100, and they have been together for 83 years.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. This is why I don't take advice when it comes to marriage, because I'd like to be married. I don't talk to single people about marriage, which is why we don't give advice about marriage, because I'm not. So the thing is, it's like, I don't like when single people think they know everything about marriage when you're not in a situation. But when I look at that couple, it's interesting that when someone's married for 83 years, Steve Harvey asked, what's the secret? And the woman simply said, be nice to each other and always, and talk to each other every day.
Yeah.
You have to understand that everybody's not perfect. You aren't either.
But see, I think that she knows you. See, my thing is that when I hear women talk like this, that I think they know they're not. I think they know they have problems. It's just easier to not say that you are the problem. Okay, so this is like a personal example. There was a time where I was in relationships with the wrong man. Okay, the wrong type of man. I haven't been in a ton of relationships in my life, but okay, the ones I have been, it's been the wrong person. All right, now all these men are pretty much the same. They all obviously look different, but they're pretty much the same. The one thing that the common denominator between all of these men, though, was me. So when you can admit that, all right, it doesn't mean you're beating up on yourself and you're putting yourself down. It just means you're acknowledging something about yourself that is wrong and that is leading you to these not good men. I guess you say not good men. And so I think that when I hear women talk like this, that's exactly what it is that there is something within you that is attracting these types of men. And then instead of just saying that, you want to say, oh no, men are just obsolete. They're no good. They're bad. All men are dogs. I'm more productive without men. You're just blah, blah, blah. You're just shooting it off at the mouth. When everything leads back to you always. Everything comes back to self always. And so I don't buy what she's selling. This is how most hurt women talk.
And I know a lot of women are going to say, well, how can you be okay with Kevin Samuels? But you can't be okay with Kevin Samuels is an image consultant. Yeah. That's his job. His job is that people call him, or in private too, he takes money for his expertise. Yes. And so when you call him or you accept money from him, it's no different than someone going to a trainer and then a trainer saying, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to tell you the truth, so I give you results. That's what his job it entails. Now he's an image consultant, so I can give him a pass for that because that is his job. That's how he made his money. But when women like this and men just go on Instagram and Facebook and Twitch or with all these things, and they just badmouth each other because they got hurt.
Why don't you look with them?
Instead of I'll tell you a little story that is my point of view. There was something I can tell you a story that really changed me. Danielle, when we were in New York, this was back when I was in my mid to late 20s, probably 27, 28, right? So Danielle was dating this guy that she met. I don't know where she met, but anyway, they were going on a date. So because she was going on the date, we had a dog, so I was taking the dog out, so that she could go out with it. So the guy was sitting out in the car. I never saw him. But he was sitting out in the car. He was waiting for Danielle, probably because we had to walk up. And so Danielle was like, wait, I'll come down. Yeah. So after they went on the date or whatever, and then after the date, maybe the next day, I think I asked you about it, and then he said that he said when he said he saw you.
He saw you.
He saw me walking the dog.
He says, "That's your sister."
He asked me, "Is that your sister?"
He goes, "Is that your sister?" You can tell. I guess he thinks we look alike. And I said, "Yes, my sister."
And then Danielle said, "Well, did you say hi or something like that?" He said, "I was," but she looked insecure.
That's what he said about
And so Danielle said to me, now for days, I was upset about this first of all, this man had never met me. I was mad at his sort of
that
perception
comment,
of me.
Right.
And I just thought, you know, how women are when we get mad. I was just the same as most, you know, I was like, how can he say something like that? He doesn't even know. That's what I'm saying in my head.
Right.
And I said that for like 2-3 days. I was so annoyed by that comment. But then I was like, this guy doesn't even know me. So one day I was at work. I worked at Macy. I was at work, and I thought to myself as I was folding jeans, why does this bother me so much? Why can't I let this go? First of all, I don't know him, and he doesn't know me. I didn't make him mad. We're not going on a date. So why does it bother me that
just the visual of you saw?
Just why does it bother me that he would make a judgment about me? And then I said to myself, as I'm folding the jean, I literally said this to myself. I know I'm insecure, but he didn't have any right to say it. And it just hit me right there. And it's changed me. The fact is that I knew I was insecure, but I didn't think anybody could see it.
Right.
I didn't realize that how I felt about myself inside is what other people could see. And that would make sense for all the men I dated prior.
But the way he said it he didn't come off as like he was trying to be mean about it.
But the way you said it to me didn't seem like he was coming off.
That's
what I'm saying. So
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He just noticed it.
He just noticed it about me. But that situation, guys, this is the reason why I think women like this woman should reflect on herself.
Right.
Is that because every guy after that,
yeah.
Because I changed.
Right.
He changed my life. I never even got to meet this guy.
No.
Like, he completely changed my life with that. Because I realized that, you know, you attract really who you are. And if you are a woman with an attitude or insecurities, you're going to attract men who can see that in you and take advantage of you and hurt you. You know what I mean? And ever since he gave me that hard truth without even knowing me, like, if I could see him today, I'd thank him. But I could see that hard truth. I changed my position. I started reading more books right after that. I started reading more books that men wrote.
I didn't even know this.
I
didn't even know that's why you started doing that. I didn't even know.
Yeah, I started reading more books about I read Steve Harvey's book, but I read a lot of books and articles.
The Psyche of a Man
of what men write.
Yeah.
How men see women. Not how women see men. Not
yes,
magazines.
Right.
Not single women trying to tell me.
Which is a mistake.
I really wanted to hear the perspective of how men actually see women. See,
I don't think that this lady knows that we can see the insecurity in her. As like just like Kara was saying, you know, she didn't realize that the guy that I was dating at the time could see the insecurity in her without even knowing her. Right. I don't even know this girl, but I know this girl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know her, but I know this. And I feel like when I see this, all that attitude, the putting down of, the belittling of, these kind of like, these telltale signs that show me that there is a huge insecurity with this young lady. And it could, I don't know what the insecurity exactly is, but to me, if I were to put my money on it, I would guess that it would be because she is choosing the wrong men and she doesn't know why.
If women really thought about themselves, they would see, because if something makes you really mad, it's usually because it's true. It's And facts. You know, a lot of people,
we've all been through this.
Yeah, everybody goes through it. And it's just this thing where when we think nobody can see what we're really feeling, and we thought we could camouflage it with hair color and lipstick and push-up bras and tight pants and you know, careers and college education, and we think, you know, we don't think anybody can see our insecurities.
It doesn't matter. You know? We can see it. We have friends and people and acquaintances that we know that are, I mean, they are on the top of their game. These women are on the top of their game physically. They're on top of their game financially. In the corporate world, they're on top of their game. And we can see, not all of them, but most of them, we can see the very clear insecurity in them. And they think that no one can see it. But when you've done enough work on yourself, like this is how I'm able to even, I don't know if you're able to see it this way too, but it's only because I was able to say, I am my own problem. It's not men. You know what I mean? I'm choosing the wrong men. If I was better with myself, then maybe I would be able to foresee it a little bit better. But it's because I did that work on myself when it came to men and who I choose is the reason why I can see that same thing in other women.
But also, she didn't describe what she thought good men would be.
Right.
You know what I mean? Notice she left that part out.
She won't.
And the reason why she didn't say the reason why she didn't, you know, list what a good man would be to her is because she knows men are going to go in there and say X, Y, and Z about her, and she wants to keep it vague so that she can dish it out but not be able to have to take it.
It's classic.
You know what I mean? And women do this. And I think if a lot of people would stop blaming other people for their own shortcomings, then we would be a better, society.
I also think that people, if they would start being able to take like criticism or constructive criticism from people when subjects like this happen, like she put herself out here in the world, so now she's going to be criticized, right, so she's going to be ready for whatever she gets. Right? I'm sure she's already gotten some criticism from it, but I think that just there's some things where we have to be able to call some things out about each other without losing your mind, which I think is what happened with the whole Kevin Samuels thing, is that a lot of people a lot of women were not able to take the criticism, although they asked for it in some ways, right? They put themselves on the chopping block.
If you're calling someone to rate you and rate your looks, and then you don't like what they're saying, why would you even call?
So I think that being able to take criticism is very, very important, because I think it can change you. This past weekend, we have a video it's one of our older videos. It's the video that has the most views. That video has for our channel a lot of views. I will link it above. I think it was I titled it being 40 and single, which is how a lot of people even found us through that video. And we get comments from that video literally every single day. Every day. So this weekend we gotten 10, 12 more comments from men. And out of those comments, there was several men that were saying, "Oh my God, why don't they just, these women are delusional." I'm getting to the point where they didn't watch the video. Yeah. Okay. They're delusional. They're not, they need to take responsibility. This is why, you're single now and blah, blah, blah. They're going on and on about that, right? This is delusional. And so I said to a few of them, I said, what about this is delusional? What about what we're saying is not taking responsibility? And then they start putting call the time marks.
Timestamp.
Yeah, timestamps of things that we said. So then I said, okay, so is that where you stopped watching? Because if you watch the whole video, and I didn't have to say this, some other people were like, you literally didn't watch the whole video. And I'm like, you took the words from me. I said, you didn't watch the whole video. The whole video is about taking accountability, women taking accountability and responsibility for their actions and the choices they made. That's what the video was about. And then we were referencing, I think we referenced the feminist movement, and we also referenced single mothers and how they raise boys to be insecure men, and so a lot of men heard that part, took it, and were just immediately upset. They weren't, this is the thing, that's what I'm talking about criticism. You have to be able to hear shortcomings about, the other side.
You can hear the other side out.
Right.
There are both a lot of men and women who are very angry. And they make videos based on anger. You know what I mean? And not on rational, thinking. There are a lot of men that think that, that are single, that think the fact that they weren't raised with their father it doesn't matter.
Right.
That they didn't really, not having a father in their life doesn't make a difference.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, if I can say as a woman that not having my father that made a difference, then you as a man have to admit that not having a father in your life did something to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think we all have to start being honest about that. Now, the reason why the reason why we're not single or that we're single is because when we came home, I lost everything, and I didn't want to get into a relationship with someone with the baggage that I had as far as financial. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I didn't.
I prioritize. I can tell you that a lot of people that are like this woman, they do this. This is like textbook. Her behavior is not rare. This is a very normal thing for most women go through when they're not taking accountability for their own actions, for their own choices. And so this is what happens.
And she really doesn't talk about what a good man is. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know if she can.
When people say something like, there are no good men. Some of you guys are just obsolete. You're not needed. There's very few of you that are worth anything. Well, what does worth it mean to you?
Yeah.
You can just throw all those words out, but what does a good man actually mean to you?
Yeah. And we had another email. I was reading this email here. Email, and he just wrote like topic. He was wanting to just know what we think about the like domestic violence, verbal abuse, toxic waste, unhealthy communication. So all of these things, some of these I haven't been through myself, but I can tell you this is all the same thing. Because when you're dealing with people who are toxic, or if you're toxic yourself, again, it's all you. You have to. You won't be toxic. You won't have to deal with verbal abuse. You won't have unhealthy communication if you look at yourself first. This all goes back to you.
If you're a woman and you have a man that's beating your ass, that's really, I hate to say it, it is your fault. Because if you stay, there's something within you that attracts men that way. I don't get men that beat me up. Never do those things to me. You know what I mean? There are women that say all the time that men go in their inbox and send them a picture of their like package. Yeah. I've never had a man do that to me. Ever. And these women, men do that all the time. Like, no, I've never had that. Yeah. So there has to be something about you that's making men think that you kind of are into that. And so I'm not saying it's right that they do that. I don't think any man should do that. But what I'm saying is that the things that happen to us happen because we're not working on something or ignoring something about ourselves that we just don't want to look at, and that goes for men too. That's not just women. That's also men. There are a lot of men who are triggered. You know what I mean? That get real triggered. Like even like you were saying about our video, our 40s, they get triggered by a comment and don't even watch the whole video. And the same thing with a lot of women. They hear a man talk about women, they get triggered by the comment, but then don't watch the whole video, or don't even ask if maybe that there's some truth in it. Yeah. I had four of those men in that video that I was talking about, of our video, the people comment, the wrong comment. The 4 of those people, men, they actually emailed us and DM'd us and said, I didn't watch the whole video. Yeah, sometimes, most of the time they apologize. And these are stand-up men. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, they were in their feelings a bit because they saw 2 black women up here talking about some stuff. And then when it came to a criticism of men, and it's not even really criticism, it's just literal facts and data. Yeah. Like, we were talking about data and how, women can't raise a boy to be a man. Right. You can't. You need a father. He needs a father. I mean, we actually had a friend of ours, that was in one of our first videos that we put on YouTube, or sorry, Facebook. We don't do Facebook as much anymore, but back then we did. And a friend of mine, he was like, I disagree with you guys with the fact that a single mother can't raise a boy because my mother raised a strong guy. I was like, yeah, but I know you, and I know your relationships. Right. So I think you could have used your dad. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think if we asked your mother, she would say I could have used a man. Like the commenter, like the person who wrote us said that verbal abuse, people like that, they miss a step. When you miss a step in life, growing up, like, you are going to be vulnerable to these types of things. Yeah. You will be vulnerable to domestic violence. You will be vulnerable to verbal abuse. And you will not know how to, unhealthy communication is a definite. If you are not raised with that type of kind of like 2 sides, there's something, there's a part of you that will be lost in life. Most people will find their way, of course. Of course, it doesn't mean that you're doomed. It just means that you are going to have to go through life as trial and error, more error. Right. Yeah, more error. But you'll figure it out eventually. But this is, when you talk about unhealthy communication, all that stuff, that's all like this. I can tell you right now, the woman we're talking about, like, her communication, I can already tell is unhealthy because she's not willing. It's not communication because she's not willing to see her part in it. Yeah. So if you were to have a conversation with this woman, more than likely it would be her talking at and not taking it. She would talk about all the things she's accomplished. Oh yeah, all and this is why she deserves somebody who is, I guess, high value. Maybe there's got to be some reason why she can't find a man, and why she's so hateful towards men. Yeah. You don't call human beings disposable. Yeah. Okay, not specifically men right now, but someone who's using those types of terms, you're just like replaceable, disposable, this type of language is a language of hurt. See, this is the conversation no one wants to have, right, with yourself, is that once you keep meeting bad men or bad women for men, the first thing that you're going to realize if it keeps happening is that maybe there's something wrong
with me. And see, that's what no one wants to really, get down to. Because when you face yourself, it's one thing to spew the verbal BS to other people. But it's another thing when you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am the common denominator in this problems. And when you're, and this is literal, this is like verbatim what I said to myself. I am the common denominator to the men that I have dated and the men that I have been in relationships with, right? And so me being the common denominator, they're all different. They don't know each other, different walks of life, different ages, different people. So how could it be, just logically, how could it be that all of them are pretty much the same type of men? How could it be that I'm choosing
But I can bet you, though, that the men that you date, I bet he's dated lots of women that act like you.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100.
You know what I'm saying? We are what we are, you know what I mean? In a world where women keep saying, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. Well, then if you don't need a man, then how can you expect men to even care anymore? I mean, it's the thing. It's like you can only say that so much, and men can only hear that so much before they just become I'm not gonna try.
And that's what we're seeing now. That's what we're seeing now is the total disconnect now. So that's what we're going through right now.
Women's empowerment does not mean putting down another gender, the other gender. Just it doesn't make you empowered because you can be mean. Yeah. Like I said, women who act like this are usually the women who are the most who are going to be hurt the most by men. Yeah. They don't realize it, but they are the men. They are the women that are the easiest to sleep with. The easiest to because they talk too much. They just need men a little... observe a lot in you, and so it's just like when they see us doing certain things, they know whether or not they can talk to you or not, or whether or not you're going to accept something crappy.
It's very easy to see too. So it's not like this is like I said. It's not rare. Her attitude is not really rare. She's not saying anything, especially nowadays. Not saying anything that's groundbreaking. It's just typical of somebody who's hurt.
And also just a typical video. This is the way women just always are when they get up. It's like, stop talking like this all the time. Like, literally, this is just not a factual video. This is only fact for you. It's not for everyone else. She's speaking for all women. That's what she's doing. It's like, no, speak for yourself. You're the one dating like this.
So yeah, you guys, let us know what you think. Leave some comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on it. Do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you haven't already, we would love for you to do that. And that's it. We will see you guys on Friday, the second half of this video. And don't forget to create a conversation that matters. Bye, guys.